And welcome back. Big news for fans of Shrinking. The hit series is back.
It's not your patient's job to heal you.
Push my husband off a cliff. I'm a psycho with good hair.
I like the good hair part.
Look whose self-esteem is back.
I can't stop thinking he's gonna go back to the way he...
That's a look at Shrinking. The second season of the hit series follows a grieving therapist played by Jason Segel who decides to ignore his training and tell his clients exactly what he thinks, often leading to hilarious results. For more on the show, I'm joined now by Jason and Michael Urie. Welcome, guys, to the morning show. Jason, I'll start with you. Congrats on the Emmy nom. With season 1 now under your belt, how good does that feel, knowing that the show is a success and people are loving it?
Yeah, it all felt great. It's funny, like you work just as hard on the things that end up not being good as the things that are good. You don't really know when you're making them. You're just trying your best. And so when it turns out, when it works, it's a really, really nice feeling. And to be back and to get to do more of them, you know, especially as I get older, I become more and more aware of how lucky I am to be doing this job still. I mean, I'm like 25 years into professionally acting, and that's a really lucky thing.
It's still a constant surprise when I look over and I see Harrison Ford. I'm so proud to be on the show, and I feel like I've been in some really great stuff. I've had a totally blessed career, but this is kind of like an adult outing for me. I kind of get to be in a grown-up show, and I'm working with such incredible heavies on such a naturalistic show where we get to just be human beings and deal with life's foibles on a very real level.
Jason, when you get the green light for a second season, how great is it to just dive deeper into these characters? Yeah,
well, because there's something actually technically is different in that when you're doing season 1, you haven't seen the show yet. So you, as the cast, don't know the tone. You're kind of trying to guess the tone based on what everybody is doing and like based on the scripts, but you're not quite sure. You don't have a shared vision yet of what the actual show looks like. So then when you come back for future seasons, you've had the benefit of seeing what it is. So it's now much easier to shoot for a bullseye because you all have the same target in mind. And I think you feel it this year. Everyone knows what the show is. Everyone knows the mix of drama and comedy. And so you can come in really, really focused.
I also love that you said once before that the best part of being a part of the writing and producing is that you don't have to ask for permission.
Yeah, I mean, creatively, that's the big struggle is you spend most of your time, especially at the beginning of your career, waiting for someone to tell you that you're allowed to act. And the best thing that I did was figure out ways to not have to wait for permission. So it was music and writing. And then slowly I just got enough clout that I could, it's still hard, don't get me wrong, but I could think of an idea and I kind of know the path to try to get it made. I mean, it's still exhausting and you're still a door-to-door salesman, but at least I'm not waiting.
Michael, take us through reading one of Jason's scripts.
Well, I find whenever the scripts are handed to me that not only are they incredible and surprising, I'm always surprised, which is rare in TV comedy to be like constantly surprised. I find that I don't ever have any questions. I look at my stuff and I think, I know exactly how to play this. I know exactly what they mean for me to do, because they really get me. They really know like what I can do and where Brian is and how Brian would react to things. Now, when I'm in a scene, so I don't do a lot of improv out of the gate. When Jason gets going, sometimes Jason, because he's also a brilliant writer, I don't know if he's come up with them ahead of time and he has them stockpiled in his brain, or if his improv brain just zings like that, like Jessica Williams does. Jessica's got an improv brain that I don't understand how it works. But that's also very exciting when you start riffing and you start to go and you start to play and build on what the writers had created. So the show works on 2 levels. It works as like a perfectly written piece of work and then something on which you can build.
Jason, The last time we spoke, you said Harrison Ford's comedy chops were outstanding, and they are. Now, some of us weren't expecting that. What have you learned working alongside him?
I think that I have learned that it's really important to work hard. I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with my job. But that it's also okay to understand that you're good and it's gonna be good. And you don't have to be scared about it. You don't have to be tight about it, that if you don't prepare exactly right, that it's somehow gonna all of a sudden fall apart. He's like, you know what you're doing, kid. Like, you can let your shoulders drop a little bit.
Great advice. Jason, Michael, thank you so much for the time.
My pleasure. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Thanks a lot.
And the second season of Shrinking is now available on Apple TV+.